Welcome back, everybody. Tuesday morning edition of Hot Mic. It happens when you miss a Monday. Rolls on. We're trying to connect our Zoom with Carson Johnson, standout from MSUM, here in just a minute. Tim Bergstrasser normally joins us each and every Tuesday, but he's occupied today, so we'll have our Dragon men's basketball segment with one of the players. MSUM coming off we featured it yesterday on Best of the Weekend. Double overtime win over St. Cloud State, where Carson scored 42 points. It's all right on 8 3-pointers in the win. Just your standard ho-hum kind of game for a guy that was not part of the plans this year. You know, he was not supposed to be playing in 2025 as a freshman out of Ankeny, Iowa, and boy, that's all changed here after Jameer Price went down and Johnny Beninga went down. I think we got him. Let's see if we got it. Carson, you got me okay?
Can you hear me now?
Got you now, bud. There he is. What's going on, man? How are you?
Yeah, my bad. Sorry about that.
No, you're great. You've had doing the interview circuit, so I appreciate you giving me a few minutes here. We were just talking before you came on that this play-in wasn't part of the plan this year. What was the plan when you got to Moorhead in the fall?
Originally it was just redshirting, just getting as work in this year as I could, learning from the older guys. There's some great older guys, like point guards like Jacob and Jameer. And so it was really just learning from them, learning the system, and then try to be as ready as I can for next year.
So Coach Bergstrasser joins us each Tuesday, and he told me, he's like, well, we're down, guys. We're gonna have to go. And he said, I didn't want to because I don't want to burn a red shirt. So give us that part of the conversation when Coach came to you and say, hey, we're gonna need you to play.
Yeah, at that point I was getting pretty tired of just watching the games. I was ready to get out there. And after the Minot game, I was in the gym with couple of the other red shirts, and we were just getting some work in. And then coach came to me and just asked if I was wanting to play tomorrow. And he said, if you're ready, you're starting. And I jumped on it. I was extremely excited for it.
So it's not like you're starting. I mean, that's a whole different ball game there.
Yeah.
For people that
for
people that don't know, so what was life like on the scout team, redshirting? What were you doing on a daily basis during practice?
During practice, it was basically just getting the top guys ready to go for the games, simulating like what the other team would be, like what plays they would run and how to guard them. So that was basically my job before I started playing. And then outside of practice, just getting as much work in and lifting extra just so I'd be ready for next year.
So you knew that was going to be the deal. So then obviously life changes right before Christmas, and then bam, you're playing. What? Yep. I mean, describe this of getting in there and having the first couple games under your belt. What went through your mind?
I was really nervous first couple games, especially, but I also knew like I was ready for it. Like I've been playing for so long, and it was nothing new. It was a big change coming like into college, but I also knew that like how much work I've put in and that I was still ready. So I did have that confidence that like I'm ready for this, but it was also like kind of nerve wracking coming into my first college game like in the middle of the season.
I was going to say, so what was the welcome to college basketball moment for you? Is there one that stands out? It's like, okay, this isn't high school anymore.
There were not a ton that like stick out specifically, but just in general, like it was a lot faster, a lot more physical right away. So just getting adjusted to that, but not anything like any play in particular. No.
Well, looking at your stat totals, man, it seems like college basketball's been a breeze. Has it been as easy as it looks for you?
I mean, I wish I could say it has been, but there have been some games I've struggled a little bit. Like it has been like pretty good, like and I've gotten better with it each game. But like first couple, there was like a little bit I had to get used to with like the pace and like on defense a little bit too, and taking care of the ball and just getting us into everything. And so it did take a couple of games to get used to that, but I feel like last couple games I've figured it out a little bit more, and we're starting to get it on the right track for these
Well,
games.
figured it out is a great way to put it. 40, I would say so. 42 points. The game Saturday, 8 threes. So you're in the zone. How do you? Is that something right when the first shot? Like, you know what? I got it today. What? Describe that. When do you know? Like, okay, I'm feeling it. Give me the ball.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you see a couple of shots go down, and it's just feeling in the world. Like you see the couple shots go down, and you know, like that's what your team needs out of you. And not really like trying to think about like just score, 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 but more so just like do what the team needs to win. And luckily, my guys like they've been so good about trusting me with those moments and those shots, and not a whole lot more you can ask for.
Well, we were talking with Coach a couple weeks ago. We went on the road. You scored 18 against Mankato, had 24 against Winona on the road. That to me is more impressive than what you did at home on Saturday because you don't know how difficult this is. Maybe it's because you don't know, but going and playing in those environments and having those kind of games, what did that do for your confidence level?
I mean, yeah, I heard about like how like just crazy those environments
All
are,
right.
and so I was like mentally trying to prepare for it, and I mean it was a lot, and those are obviously like two really good teams and two really good defenses, and so I was trying to just prepare for that, know it would be tough, and really just like do whatever we needed to do to try and we unfortunately we didn't get the Mankato one. We had a few plays coming down the stretch, and we just didn't execute at the end, but um, we're figuring it out now. So like hopefully next time we'll be able to win.
Now you could have snuck up on those teams. You're not sneaking up on anybody anymore. How have defenses changed over the last couple of games to try and stop you?
Yeah, honestly, right away it was like after a couple games, teams kind of adjusted to it, and they kind of saw like the role that I'm kind of in now and how similar me and Jacob have been playing, and so it's been quite different already. A lot of face guarding, a lot of like no help, and a lot of like when I'm getting it, the defenses collapse. But luckily, like then I have like all my teammates have been so great with making plays and like finishing and just hitting big shots. So yeah, it has been a lot different, but yeah.
I got to ask about the backstory, Carson. I know Ankeny's an awesome sports city. How did you get to MSU Moorhead? How did Coach
Yeah.
Bergstrasser, how did this all come about in your recruiting process?
Yeah, so Spencer reached out to me first and then got me up for a couple visits and some elite camps and all that. And just the feeling that when I was here, like just made me feel wanted. And they made sure like they knew that no other coach wanted me more than what they wanted me. And so it just felt like a great environment. Met some of the guys early, and it was just like felt like a family here. And so I was just super excited about coming in and playing in that type of environment.
Were there other NSIC schools talking to you? Who else was in the mix at that point? Or was like, you know what? MSUM was clearly the one that wanted me, and that's where I wanted to go.
Yeah, there were some that others that were talking to me quite a bit, like Southwest, Minnesota State, Wayne State, Mankato a bit, but Moorhead was the first one to offer me, and so that kind of like showed me right there, like these guys are really all in on me.
Yeah, was that really the big thing? They were the first to believe in you that paid off?
Yeah, like the coaches up here, they just seem like such great like players, and they make such great relationships with their players, and so it just felt like a place like I knew they would like trust me with the ball and everything when I would get here, and I was just super excited to.
I got to ask the phone call to mom and dad, say, hey, I'm starting. Like, hey, things have changed. Can you give us the lowdown on that? And I'm sure they weren't probably planning to come to any games this year, right?
Yeah, honestly, being so far away, they weren't. It was kind of hard to get to a lot of them when I wasn't playing. But luckily, like that weekend, there was like a Christmas party or something, so they decided to come up for that, and it was like the perfect weekend because like they were here when the coaches had that talk with me, so it was pretty easy. I could like just talk, and they heard everything that they said,
Wow.
and they were helping to make like they helped me make that decision here, like in person. it was actually like just the best situation with them being here. So it all worked out.
What was that moment like for them to be here? You find out that you're going to be playing, you're going to be starting.
Yeah, it was amazing. Once the coaches left, like I just had the biggest smile on my face, and they knew that I was ready for it. They knew that I've been like working, and so yeah, they had all the confidence in the world in me, and they supported my decision, and so it was just a great moment having them like be here in person to watch my first like college game.
That's awesome. Couple minutes left here with Carson. I have to ask, you played 49 minutes on Saturday. Is that the most? I mean, how much did you come out? Did you come out of the game on Saturday?
Yeah, came out for about a minute in the first half. Needed my legs back for a second. Needed to catch my wind, but yeah, that was the most I've ever played by far. I didn't really come out in much in high school, but those games were only like 32 minutes. So
Right.
it was already a big change. So, yeah, I was pretty gassed afterwards.
I don't doubt it. The amount of attention that you've got here, media wise, are your teammates giving you a hard time? Are you going to get a hard time of doing this at practice today? I imagine.
I don't think they've been about it. I don't think I'll get that much of a hard time. They saw like a news interview yesterday, and I'd like the camera, and I had to sit down with that, and so they've seen it, and they've been good about it.
Last thing for you about how much has this changed your own idea or goals? Certainly for this season, but beyond that now, by playing now, how much has that changed what you thought your arc was going to be at Moorhead now that you're out here playing instead of sitting?
It really didn't change a whole lot. Like just other than just having an extra year, like I'm still going to be. I just had to change my class schedule a little bit, so I'd be graduating in 4 now. But other than that, not a whole lot. Like still getting the same amount of work in, just staying ready and yeah. So
I lied. I have one more. Where's your favorite spot to shoot on the floor? Where's your like, you know what? I don't miss from blank.
Favorite spot to shoot on? I like getting to those like coming off the ball screen, getting to like that spot on the court, and then the little floaters and mid range stuff. Like I like getting to those types of spots. So
who's your guy to watch? Who do you like? You know what? I'm gonna watch on my phone if there's a highlight reel. Who's the guy you love to watch or emulate?
yeah, I have like and my mates here they all know this. Like there's quite a few guys that I like to watch, especially in the NBA. Like my 3 like favorite guards to watch. It's like Steph Curry, Trae Young, and like Jalen Brunson. So those are like my 3. So like whenever they're playing, they know it's gonna be on the TV.
Those are 3 pretty good guys to be watching. Congrats on a great run, bud. Thanks so much for making time this morning. Good luck this weekend, and appreciate you making time for us this morning.
Yep, thank you.
Carson Johnson joining us, MSUM standout freshman guard for the Dragons. And again, the run he's been on is just crazy. The point-wise, he got in his first game, as we mentioned, was right before Christmas. Scored 22 against Crookston. Followed up with 23. Had 27 at Sioux Falls. 24 at Winona. 42 against St. Cloud, which is the 6th highest ever in a Dragon men's basketball game. You look at his stats, an awesome graphic put together by our guy, Kyle Strecker there. 19.5 points a game, shooting 40% from 3. I think he's a shoo-in for all newcomer team in the NSIC. We'll see. The Dragons got a big win over St. Cloud State, and with him doing all that, they're now 9-7 in conference play as we're coming down the stretch run here. It's crazy to believe this. They have a biggie coming up tomorrow at Minot. Rematch there after they lost to Minot when they came to Moorhead and win. We'll preview that coming up on the show tomorrow. That'll be a fun one tomorrow night at the Minot State Dome, 5:30 for that. We appreciate MSUM for making that happen there with Carson. We'll take our final break. We come back. We'll wrap things up. We got a busy Tuesday to get you ready for. We'll do that right after this on WTAY Extra, KSFL TV, KNBN, and Inforum.com.